the ANOM platform was rejigged, so a tiny bit of computer code was embedded in each message to allow investigators to gather, track, decrypt, and store every message. The project was ready to go in late 2018. They looked like normal smartphones, but ANOM's features were hidden by a calculator app where punching in a numeric code This will go down as absolutely legendary in underworld history. Gangsters will be kicking themselves just as hard as cops will be patting themselves on the back. Around the world, thousands of mobsters, bikers, gangsters, narcos, money launderers, gun runners, hitmen, corrupt cops were lured into cutting their deals and arranging their deeds on a supposedly secret encrypted phone system, which was really being run by the FBI.
Police search warrant, out the door!
More than 1,000 people have so far been arrested worldwide. Massive amounts of drugs, guns, money, and criminal assets were seized, and multiple hits were halted, as the real secret behind an underworld communication system was unveiled this week in the United States, across Europe, and in Australia and New Zealand. The Mob reporter here with news of the incredible birth and spectacular death of ANOM, the next generation in secure communication that was unwittingly pushed into gangland by criminal influencers who made the new system trusted and trendy in the underworld as part of an ingenious and technologically innovative honeypot sting. Let me tell you about it. What you see here and throughout this video are raids, arrests, and seizures flowing from the 3-year international operation. It's a seemingly endless parade from a dozen countries. What this is about is the increasing underworld use of hardened encrypted devices to allow for secret communications. These are special phones that encrypt messages before sending them to another secure phone, where they are decoded and read. While those messages are in transit, they can't be intercepted or unscrambled. Gangsters have been using this technology for a few years now, and some companies have tried to profit from the demand by creating special mobile phone devices. One of the first was called Phantom Secure, a Canadian company. Recently I told you about another, EncroChat, which was a gangland hit until it was hacked by the French. Then came Sky ECC by Sky Global, another Canadian firm that was taken down in March by the FBI. Along the way, a new competitor was in development. It was called ANOM. One of those working to build ANOM was a veteran in underworld secure devices. He previously distributed Phantom Secure and Sky Global handsets and invested heavily to create one of his own. But when he was facing charges on other matters, he made authorities an offer they couldn't refuse. He offered his baby to the FBI to raise as their own, and raise they did. Working with technically savvy Australian Federal Police investigators, the ANOM platform was rejigged, so a tiny bit of computer code was embedded in each message to allow investigators to gather, track, decrypt, and store every message. The project was ready to go in late 2018. They looked like normal smartphones, but ANOM's features were hidden by a calculator app where punching in a numeric code unlocked it. ANOM's marketing pitch was designed by criminals for criminals. The FBI's cooperating source then recruited 3 of his clients as administrators, a Turk, an Australian, and a Swede. One of them, the Turkish man who grew up in Australia, was particularly successful, authorities allege. His name is Hakan Ayek. The 42-year-old was previously dubbed the Facebook gangster because of his social media posts highlighting his flashy lifestyle, travel, muscles, and tattoos, despite having criminal links to the Comanchero Motorcycle Club, Chinese triads, and serious traffickers. He and a handful of others also became brand ambassadors for ANOM. They were underworld influencers, getting others to sign up for the ANOM service. They unwittingly reached out to their underworld contacts, people who had established reputations and criminal ties, which authorities say included outlaw bikers, Italian mafia, drug lords, and members of all sorts of transnational crime groups. Everyone who used one unknowingly sent a copy of every one of their messages, photos, and details of every deal to the police. When EncroChat was dismantled in 2020, and then Sky Global in March 2021, customers of those services flocked to ANOM. The devices were bought exclusively by those engaging in criminal activity, authorities say, and as investigators monitored the messages, it gave them an eye-popping view of a subset of the underworld elite. There were about 12,000 ANOM devices in use, sending 27 million messages through 100 countries in 45 different languages. The top 5 countries for ANOM use were Germany, the Netherlands, Spain, Australia, and Serbia. As the operation ran, authorities stepped in and thwarted a number of significant deals and picked off a few high-value targets, being careful not to say how police knew about the information. Some of my videos over the past couple of years document operations that I'm now certain were based on the ANOM information. We just didn't know it at the time. This covert operation wrapped up this week. On June 7th and 8th, 2021, agencies around the world delighted in making the big reveal as waves of arrests and raids began, involving 26 countries. In the United States, the FBI called it Operation Trojan Shield. Included were at least 6 corrupt law enforcement officials who were caught using ANOM to work with narcos and pass sensitive information on to gangsters. Now, despite the seriousness of all of this, there is almost always a moment to spare for a laugh. So enjoy this. What did police find among the enormous haul after smashing down 1,000 doors? Movie collectibles for The Godfather, and a poster for Breaking Bad. In Australia, where they called it Operation Ironside, the underworld damage was particularly harsh. Among those arrested is a defense lawyer, allegedly linked to the Comanchero Motorcycle Club, accused of conspiring to obstruct the course of justice. Comanchero MC members and associates are prominent as targets in the ANOM sweeps, likely because of the influence of Hakan Ayak, who has long-standing ties with members of the club since he was a boy. An alleged sergeant-at-arms for one Comanchero chapter was arrested. This man here. Police say he was the boss of a drug importation and distribution network. Police boasted of a mass disruption of the Comancheros, with more than 20 arrests, including several high-ranking members, along with associated Middle Eastern crime figures. Other biker club members arrested are with the Rebels MC and Lone Wolf, and some banditos caught with the grow-up. The Lone Wolf bikers are accused of importing 700 kilograms of methamphetamine from Korea into Australia, hidden inside gear drives. In Europe, there were at least 800 arrests and the seizure of 8 tons of cocaine, 22 tons of cannabis, 2 tons of synthetic drugs, 250 firearms, 55 luxury vehicles, and more than 48 million in various currencies and cryptocurrencies. Europol, the coordinating police agency of the European Union, called their part of the case OTF Greenlight, and involved authorities in Sweden, the Netherlands, Germany, Britain, Spain, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Hungary, Lithuania, and Norway. Germany saw more than 70 arrests, mostly for large-scale drug deals. In the Netherlands, 25 drug production and storage facilities were raided, bringing about 50 arrests. In Sweden, it was called one of the most extensive strikes ever against organized crime. 70 people were arrested there, many among the top tier of drug suppliers. But beyond the impressive numbers and all of these arrests and seizures, I expect we'll see ongoing ripples from this sting for years to come. There will be the immediate effect, no doubt already well underway. Serious inquiries by criminals who were duped into using the ANOM system. There will be punishment and revenge. There will be infighting and mistrust. There will be thousands of in-transit and incomplete deals around the world, with the ensuing arguments about who is on the hook and who owes what to who. This will not be settled quietly or bloodlessly. Police have recommended that Ayak turn himself in for his own safety and the safety of his family. Just imagine the sick feeling he had when he realized he had unwittingly been the poster boy for an historic FBI sting. It may not be fair to lay blame on him, but that's the way gangland works. He knows that. And then there will likely be ever-present uncertainty and suspicion for each other, but also for each new way someone comes up with to try to fill the void. How can there not be? As one old crook said to me, "My old man used to raise pigeons. Maybe I should pick up the family hobby." He doesn't look it, believe me, but that idea may make him the smartest man in the business. Thanks for watching.